Factoring out a GCF. After watching this video, I will be able to analyze a polynomial and identify its greatest common factor. So first we want to remember what is greatest common factor, or GCF. So a factor is basically all the numbers that you can multiply together to get a number. So for 10, we can multiply 1 times 10. We can multiply 2 times 5 to get the numbers 10. For 8, we can multiply 1 times 8, and we can multiply 2 times 4. So my greatest common factor would be the biggest number that's common to both. So 1 is common, 2 is common, and that's it. So that means that the GCF would be 2, because that's the greatest common factor for both numbers. In the same way, we can find the greatest common factor when we're talking about variables and exponents. So if we have x to the 5th, that means x times x times x times x times x, and then x to the 3rd, x times x times x. And we want to see what's common to both. So we have 1, 2, 3 x's on the top, 1, 2, 3 x's on the bottom. So that means that at least x to the 3rd power is common to both of these. So this would be the greatest common factor, or the GCF. So when we have a polynomial, we can essentially find the greatest common factor, and that's going to make the polynomial kind of smaller. And the reason we want to do this is because further on, we're going to want to solve for a polynomial, and when we have smaller polynomials, it would be easier to find an answer. So by factoring out, we can make our polynomials smaller. So I'm going to look at what is the greatest common factor in terms of my numbers first. So I have 30, 70, and 40. I know that at least 10 is common to both. So if I were to take out a 10, I want to see what's left. So when I say take out, when we factor out, we're basically dividing. So 30 divided by 10 gives me a negative 3 x to the 4th. 70 divided by 10 gives me a 7 x to the 2nd. 40 divided by 10 gives me a 4. And I know that was the greatest common factor because now if I look of what is inside, all of those, there is no common factors for 3, 7, and 4. So 10 had to be the greatest common factor. So again, I want to identify the greatest common factor of this polynomial. So I don't just want to focus on the numbers, I also want to focus on the variables as well. So first, looking at the numbers, I'm going to see what would be the greatest common factor for negative 36, negative 8, and negative 8. And I am thinking that the number 4 is the only possible factor because 36 could be divided by 4, by 8, 8 could be divided by 4, and 8 can be divided by 4. So I'm going to factor out a 4. But I'm also going to look at my variables now because I see that I have R7, R to the 4th, and R to the 3. So that means there's at least 3 R's in each term. So I can factor out R to the 3rd power. So this means this would be my GCF, but I could verify to make sure that I did this correctly. So I'm going to see what's left over when I take out a 4 R to the 3rd. And by take out, I mean divide. So factoring is basically division. Before, we were adding and subtracting polynomials. Then we were multiplying polynomials. So now factoring is essentially division of polynomials. So negative 36 divided by 4 gives me negative 9. If I take out R to the 3rd from R to the 7th, I end up with R to the 4th. Minus 2R minus 2. So I can make sure that I did this correct by actually multiplying now. So I could do the reverse, what we were doing before, and I can distribute this 4r to the third to see if I did it correctly. And if I end up with the same thing, then I know I did it correctly. So I end up with my original location. So this is my check to see that I actually factored out correctly. So you try, determine what is the greatest common factor. So my greatest common factor has to be at least a 2 because a 2 is possible to be taken out from each term. And then there is at least an n to the third in each one, because here we have n to the 5th, so that means we can take out a third. So that's 2n to the third. So my correct answer would be C.